Every 10 or 15 or 20 steps, I have to change the can from one hand to another because the thin handle cuts into my palm. At least it keeps my arms from tiring too fast.
My life.
I can feel it cutting into my arm. Urgh. Rin strolls on beside me with an uneven pace that I have trouble matching. Or maybe I'm walking weird because of the extra weight. It seems one of us is constantly walking too slow or too fast, and I can't figure out which. 2 flights of stairs below, Trouble appears in the form of the head nurse and his fox-like grin.
Fuck. I don't have a voice, guys.
Just do a regular male voice.
Sound like.
Ah, Mr. Nakai. What a happy coincidence. Tezuka fuck.
Tezuka.
Of course.
He nods courteously to Rin, who does not acknowledge him back, then turns to me because obviously it's me who he had some business with.
There's something I forgot to mention on Monday.
I nod and wait impassively because I can't even begin to guess what he forgot. The feeling of the handle delving deeper into my skin doesn't make me feel enthusiastic about this interruption either.
It's about your medications. Since you haven't been... I sound like Obama.
Whatever.
Go ahead.
Go.
Obama nurse.
My fellow impaired students. Since you haven't... what?
Just read.
Just go!
Sentence structure, whatever. Since you haven't been that long on your current medications, there might be some unexpected side effects, which might require adjusting dosages or even changing to another kind of medication, like Viagra.
Great.
Oh god, that'd be terrible for him.
So we will do a few tests regularly.
Especially with that trouble in his pants.
But what I'd want is for you to keep an eye on everything in your condition that feels off, if you get what I mean. Nausea, headache, anything. And come see me if something happens. Like if you die.
Alright.
So, how are you? Everything... fine?
I give up and drop the can to the floor before answering him. Apparently this takes longer than my biceps can handle.
I love the winky face.
I was about to say
Michigan.
something generic as an answer, but then I realized
We
how
either
often I've
roll
done
or
that
close.
lately. Other people have asked me that too. Teachers and students here. My parents, visitors, nurses, doctors at the hospital. Everyone seems to be concerned about that. It's natural for a hospital, not so much for a school. Except in this school. This is a small school, and both the student base and the faculty seem to be very tightly knit. Or at least that's a feeling I'm getting. And this is not the kind of school that gets transfer students too often. The thought sends shivers up my spine, but I give a generic answer anyway.
What? We don't even get to hear the generic answer? Ugh,
Nope.
I have no idea.
That's great. No, really. Fantastic. Oh. And one other thing. My sources tell me that you've been at neither the school track nor even the pool, so I'd like you to know.
I'd like to know if you.
Oh my god. English is hard, okay? I swear I'm taking AP English.
Just build up.
So, I'd like to know if you have taken up exercising as I asked.
Okay, Logan, I like how you're having so much trouble with this freaking, 3 lines.
Oh my god. I haven't read in forever, Jesus.
Of course I haven't. Of course I haven't, but his way of inquiring gives me the feeling that I should have been running my ass off on the track since the very first day.
Because he said it like Obama.
Do you have people spying on me?
Yes. Not as such. I just happen to know a few people. But that's not the issue here. So don't try to slip out of it.
You cannot pause between every word. Thank you very much.
Please? I want to
Well,
be a
I
Shatner.
was actually just doing some improvised weightlifting as an exercise.
Oh, his
I-
smile.
Pick up and lift the can up and down a few times, like some sad imitation of a bodybuilder, even though it's weighing down on my arms painfully. The stupid grin disappears from his face for a second, then comes back like it was never gone.
Tezuka, would you give us a second? Oh God!
The nurse grabs me by the shoulder without waiting for Rin's permission, which he didn't need in the first place, and drags me aside.
When I told you to exercise, I wasn't joking. I understand that you are still in your first week and all, but please don't ignore the importance of this. You could die, motherfucker. The reason I'm coming down this hard on you is that habits are not easy to form. The more you slip and postpone, the harder it'll be. Story of my life. It's the same with everything. Like dieting. He looks off distantly. Can you promise me to be more serious about this from now on?
Alright,
And yes.
we're going. Everyone, we're going maybe. I've already determined this is what we're doing.
Why are we going maybe?
Because yes, I know for a fact, because I've experienced it, yes gets you an extra track session with Emmy, which kind of diverts you a bit from the route. It's not really that important, but I already did yes, so maybe.
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 Go ahead,
Maybe. No. I mean,
That's not you.
Maybe.
I'm gonna say.
No, I mean, he gives me a nasty sort of look when I say that, making me try to take back the word.
Look at me.
We're gonna make a
Look me in
nasty
the face,
face.
motherfucker. I'm Brock.
I mean, I don't know. I'm still trying to get used to the school. I'll promise to try, though.
You're not being very convincing there, Hasao. Tip number 1. Medical professionals are not amused when you take their advice lightly. And I'll fucking cut you, bitch.
What's up with him? As if a day or two would make that much of a difference. I didn't do
Something
anything
has
at the
heart attack.
hospital either. Yeah, okay, sorry. He studies me for a moment, and then shrugs, smiling again.
Whoppa! Okay. That's more like it. If you go to the school track tomorrow morning, you meet my spy, who probably has no qualms offering you consultations to you if you want to jog a bit. Because, it's not like she has legs or something.
Consultation?
See you around, winky face.
He leaves with a wave of his hand and no answer, and I walk to Rin, who has been waiting, idly leaning against the hallway wall and staring at the pale lighting fixtures in the ceiling. Even when I approach, she doesn't move her eyes off them.
Are you getting medications for your heart thingy?
Were you listening? It comes out more accusatory than I intended. I keep accidentally lashing out on her. But even so, I don't really want to start talking about it. I just met her. I don't know her. It's not her business. The nurse seems to be happily ignorant about confidentiality, too, talking about that kind of thing in public. But it's not Rin's fault, is it?
It's not boner pills, man.
I look up at her, suddenly feeling a bit guilty, but Rin is just staring past my shoulder quizzically, her head tilted like a bird's.
Like those birds that can turn their heads all the way around?
Yes.
Sigh.
Yes.
I don't know why this is so hard for me. It feels like there is some inexplicable lock that prevents me from being more upfront about this. Psycholock. Yeah, they're for my heart.
Penis.
Will they make you better?
In
No, not really. They just make me a little less worse. Rin keeps looking at me for a while longer, and she neither says anything further nor displays any kind of emotion I could discern. I'm thankful she doesn't. I think I'm still not quite used to all this. At the hospital it was easy, but I still haven't sorted my feelings about having to live a normal life with this disability. We leave the main building and Rin leads us onwards towards the dorm. We stop at the small patch of greenery in front of the dorm building and proceed on a 5-hour segment about her painting a wall. The dorm is built on a slightly elevated ground with a wall and few trees that everyone has to circle around every time they come or go. It's probably the only inconvenient design in the school. The entire wall, made of the same kind of bricks as the building itself, has been covered with some sort of a painting. Most of it is still mere sketches, quick lines drawn with black and white against the gray plastering that covers almost the entire length of the wall, but some places look a bit more finished. There are human faces and legs and hands. I can't quite say what the painting as a whole might portray. Stacks of what seems to be paint cans are arranged in piles on the ground beside the wall.
See, the left side here is hardly off the ground yet. It's Because I couldn't get in the mood yesterday, so I gave up and went to meditate instead. Then it was suddenly morning. I have to work on it, but the guys from the art class are helping me with the negative spaces and base surfaces whenever, which is a problem. It's easier to paint big
Meditate,
areas.
quote unquote.
It's easier to paint big areas if there are a lot of people with hands.
I just
Courage
realized,
is better too, and faster.
they all have disabilities that, like, impair what they're supposed to be doing. Think about it. Like, the artist without hands, the runner without legs, the student council representative without ears,
Lily
The-
and
the-
Hamado.
the library girl without eyes.
She's not a library girl.
Whatever.
She's
She
a,
was in the library.
she's a proper English lady, except she's Scottish. So whatever.
We can call them English.
You can't just point out the really happy-looking guy in the bottom right corner. Not right. Left.
You wanna read the text?
She goes on a tangent of a tangent, waving a little with her arm, or whatever of it there actually is, to demonstrate, even though I got the point already.
Stubs.
The white cotton of her sleeve flaps around, and it makes me think it could look sadder than it does. But it makes me feel out of place, like almost every tangible reminder of the student base's special properties has in the past few days. This girl doesn't notice my dreary feelings, of course, or the fact that she lost me a while ago already, and just keeps on blabbering.
So that's why I'm trying to figure out if there's something I need to figure out, and then figure out what that is before it's too late and all hope is lost.
Why would the hope be lost?
Because paint has to be painted, and then it has to dry, and then it has to be painted over with another kind of paint. It takes time.
Can confirm. Painting
She
time.
finally stops, apparently thinking she made some kind of a statement that makes sense. I think it's best to start from the top. So, this is your project? You did this?
You made a happy guy.
Yes. Yes.
All of it?
Yes.
Nice. But I stumble with my words, suddenly feeling like I've walked straight into the minefield of political incorrectness.
It's okay. You can say it. I probably won't get mad.
I blush really hard. I don't really know what would be the right thing to say, if any. It feels that I'm way more sensitive than Rin is, though. This is really awkward.
Don't you want to ask?
How do you paint without hands?
See? I'm an easy person to talk to, right? With my feet.
I almost guessed that already, but isn't that hard to do?
You're good at guessing. Anyway, I don't think it is. But maybe I'm used to it by now.
I can't get my mind around the fact that she could be an artist, but seeing how adept she was using her feet to eat, I figure painting might not be a problem either. Neither of us has anything more to add to the subject.
The afternoon light works pretty well. I was afraid it would look too flat, but it's not like that after all. I think it's actually pretty interesting. I wanted to see it in the dim light. Do you think it's flat?
Oh, well, paintings tend to be flat.
Not like that flat. You know, flat.
Joke master.
Not like that flat. You know, flat. Like some people are. No substance, no meat where there should be some.
So no boobs?
I know a few girls who.
Okay, I get it, but I couldn't really tell. I'm not that good with art. I can't name many artists or artistic terms, so I don't really have anything to say.
All I need to know is the weight scale.
Rin shrugs her shoulders at that, saying, "Suit yourself," without saying it, and looks up at the sky as if trying to look for something up there.
I didn't think I'd get any actual work done, but if you give me a hand with the paints, I could do a little before it's too dark. I wanted to get a halogen lamp like the ones they have on the sports tracks, but there aren't any.
Rin sure is quick to recruit my help, as was Shizune. It really makes me feel that the festival is such a big project that every pair of hands is needed.
Hands.
Hilarious. Why not? I'm not really sure if I could be of any help, though.
It's just mixing some paints. You can do that. Probably. Do you have any motor control problems, like, you know, those people who have some? Cerebral palsy, maybe?
Not that I know of.
I get it. Heart thingy has nothing to do with that.
She gives me a sly look for no reason. No, it doesn't.
Let's do it then.
Kinky.
So she sits on an empty wooden box and very naturally picks up a wide brush between the toes of her bare right foot. I open a few of the cans and pour some of the contents into shallow bowls for mixing. The thick paints flow lazily from the can to the bowl like syrup. I mix them, creating funny, hypnotic-looking swirl patterns that melt quickly into each other to form a new monotone hue. Rin sets to work, every now and then asking me for a hand with something or the other hand. Finding different brushes is easy enough, but mixing the paints to be the exact tone this girl is apparently seeing in her head is a frustrating ordeal. She wants precision down to the last milliliter before she is satisfied, but her obstructions are obscure at best. I said obstructions, didn't I?
Obstructions, yes.
Add half a splash of green.
I crouched down to pick up the can of bright green.
Oh, is this a minigun?
The other green. This green.
This is a choice. Which green do you choose? I carefully pour some of the other green paint into the mixing bowl.
No, that's almost a whole splash. More white. Is green a good color to add?
No idea. You're the artist here. A hint of smile appears in the corners of her mouth.
Do you lack an opinion?
No, it's just that I have no idea.
It's okay, because I just got an idea. Add more white.
With this exclamation, I pour a minuscule amount of white into the bowl and mix it. It looks slightly whiter.
That's not good. It has to be like the color when you wake up and you know that you saw the meaning of life in a dream, but you can't remember it. Maybe it's yellow.
Despite the impossibility of mixing a color like the change of seasons or any other nonsense that's being imposed on me, I find myself enjoying it more than I thought I would. Seeing a painting being born on the plastered wall feels like magic. I spend the moments I have between mixing paints crouching down on the paving and just looking at her work. It feels slightly intrusive at first, like breaking some imaginary intimacy, but Rin doesn't seem to mind the least bit. Maybe it's just in my head. Her entire presence emits a completely different air as she patiently works the details, adding layers of paint on top of other layers of paint, steadily moving her foot across the wall to add new shapes. When I manage to produce a passable mixture of paint, the rare smile on her face is oddly rewarding. Apart from the few words when discussing paint mixes, neither of us says a word for the longest time. And even those short discussions soon evolve into a shorthand, both of us developing and using weird impromptu code words for various paints and hues.
Ways.
As if there was some need to conserve words and breath and sound. Yeah, as if. We stay there late into the evening until it becomes too dark to paint properly.
At least they didn't have you play through that.
Yeah. Yay, Katawa Shoujo.
That's the game we're playing!
Oh my gosh!
Title drop.